Today on Something to Talk About, we will speak with 4 women, a collection of beauty and brains. They're the winners of the Miss Earth contest. All of the elements join me in a conversation about the environment, pressures on young women by young women. That's ahead on Something to Talk About. Welcome to Something to Talk About. I am in the company of all of the elements of beauty. I have earth, I have air, I have fire, and I have water. I'm with the ladies of the Miss Earth pageant, and go ahead and do your thing around the horn here.
Buenas, my name is Gloria Nelson. I'm your Miss Earth Guam 2016.
Hapaday, I'm Keana Artero. I'm Miss Air Guam 2016.
Hello, my name is Jessica Nunez, not Miss Father, Miss Fire 2016.
And I'm Miss Water
2016. Kayla Sasaki.
So it's nice to have you ladies here. Thank you. So I put out, it's nice to have you here. I put out all of this stuff for them, and they hacked right at it. So lest you think that ladies like this don't eat French fries from King's, you're wrong.
Second plate.
By the way, it's our second plate. It's so good to have you here. It's so nice to see such bright, fresh, young faces. Thanks for coming in the middle of the day like this. Okay, well, first of all, let's start with you, Gloria Nelson. Everybody knows your family. You are the namesake of somebody very, very, honored and respected on Guam.
Today's actually her birthday.
Oh wow, really?
Oh, shout out, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, the late Senator Gloria Nelson. How does it feel to walk around with, such an honorable name?
It's a lot to live up to. Every time I see someone, they're always like, you have big shoes to fill. Yeah. So I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, you get off to a nice start. Let me tell you that even before having met you on Facebook, you were already a sensation with the video that you had done. You want to tell everybody how that happened and what was the purpose behind that?
Well, the Inafresi video, we were trying to portray something where it showed who I was and where I came from. And we wanted to show people that I was running for a reason. So Brian Munya actually shot the film, and the Inafresi was incorporated. It just so happened that Dr. Dunka passed away right after we were shooting. So we tied in making it in memory of her, in honor of her. So the Inafresi was basically to show where we are, who we came from, and a lot of people don't know the meaning of the Inafresi, and we've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it.
Yeah, a lot of people really enjoyed watching that. It's a lot of goosebumps that happened. But you guys are all representing an element, right?
Yes.
Obviously air, fire, and water. Did you have to run on some kind of platform of that element, or were you just chosen?
It's just an environmental platform in general. It doesn't have to go with an element that you pick.
Yeah, but you also have to have some kind of feeling toward the environment, especially on Guam. Maybe whoever wants to answer the question about what kind of commitment that you have to make toward the environment.
The commitment is definitely serving our community, and as all of us, we have our 1-year reign, and we're dedicating it to serving our community. Even after, we're going to make differences and help out with the community, and we just really want to advocate and be ambassadors for our island. Yeah.
Growing up, you all went to schools on Guam, right? So growing up, was that part of the conversation? In school, did they ever talk to you about protecting Guam's environment or that kind of thing?
At Academy, they actually have a club that's the Green Club, and so they advocate for keeping the environment clean. They do cleanups, they do bus stop painting, anything to help out the community. And it's really a wonderful club, and I know a lot of the ladies join it, and it helps them get their community service hours, but it was also really fun just helping the community out.
And I went to GW, so we had Marine Mania.
Oh gosh,
and, yeah, having Miss Intro and Miss Win, we really got involved with a lot of community work.
Yeah. But did you feel something a little more personal about the environment? And I guess it depends on how it's proposed to you, because we live on an island. We don't have a lot of resources across the county line.
Right.
And I mean, we step into the ocean and you're stepping off Guam, really. So did you ever feel like you had to, like a personal responsibility or personal connection to that sort of thing? You know, just to the environment, yeah.
I felt more of my connection only when I've joined the pageant. That's really where all my concern for the environment has grown. Because not really like educated about this stuff. You know, not a lot of people are concerned about those things. So really, when we joined the pageant, or at least as far as me, I did a lot of research based on the environment. So that's where my concern has grown.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the issue. That there are a lot of people that don't understand because it's not a big issue or it's not presented to them that way. But I think that Guam's coming around to a place where we have to start paying attention. And you said that the pageant made you think maybe a little harder about your place in the environment. So how do you use your title to stand behind what it is that you feel?
Well, my environmental platform is the Hagen. So this summer I'm going to be going through training with Department of Ag and the Hagen Watch, and I'm going to be able to witness like turtles nesting and things. So basically with the Hagen, I'm trying to advocate for that too, because there are a lot of poachers on Guam, and pretty soon the turtles are endangered. So eventually we won't be able to see them, and especially because it is a part of our culture, we want to help sustain them for the future generations. Yeah. And then we've been doing coastal cleanup. We're actually doing one on Saturday in honor of Earth Day. Yeah. So we've been doing cleanups and doing different activities and different events to help. And we also did Earth Hour with Weston.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, where he turned off the lights for about an hour, right? But and how are you going to use your Telecana? What's the plan for you?
Well, I've in general been doing cleanups before the pageant, so I feel like I'm just continuing what I've always been doing and just standing behind the cause. And I feel like when you have a title, people actually end up focusing on it more. I know that it is a big issue, but yeah, people actually listen and they get curious, and then they want to help out and get involved in the community. So just having a title actually helps.
That's
people.
our power.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, there's a lot of power behind that. If you recognize that the power is more than the crown and the sash, and of course you're all very beautiful, so that doesn't
definitely.
Yeah. How does that help you though break through? You know, kids who are much younger, young girls. Do you take any of that into consideration?
Yeah, like social media, that's like such a big thing nowadays. So I've really been trying to keep up with my posts and try and put a meaning behind something that I post, because I know a lot of people pay attention to what we do. So I really want to put a positive, behind everything I do.
There's a lot said about pageants or beauty queens. Do you feel like it's all about that, like you're a beauty queen and you have no other identification than that? Or does it bother you when people describe you just as that?
No, I feel like it's a stereotype, definitely, but it's our duty to show them that we are something more than just beauty queens, and it's our duty to make a difference.
Yeah, so when you have to go off to another pageant though, right? So you have a bigger responsibility.
Yes, definitely.
It's not just the Hagen that you're going to be pitching. You have to.
I'm representing our island.
Yeah,
definitely.
How do you feel about that? And when you're picking certain things, because Guam is so many things.
Guam is definitely my environmental platform is the Hagen, but of course we will be focusing on other different environmental things, especially climate change. Climate change is a really big thing for our island, especially because we're on an island. Yeah. So I'm gonna be representing Guam. I'm excited, and I definitely want people to know what our struggles are and what our potential is as an island, especially because we're small. We have a lot of potential.
Where are you going? Where's the pageant?
They did not announce the location yet, but they said it's in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes that gets pushed back to November, December.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how come they don't tell you where it is?
Surprise!
Oh, is that what
Surprise,
it is?
surprise.
No, they figure it out towards the middle of the year. Where
So
it's
have
at.
all the other Miss Earths been selected?
Guam is actually one of the first, so I think around 8 pageants have happened so far.
Oh,
so
okay.
people are still getting their Miss Earths
Okay,
in.
so you have a lot of time.
Yes,
A lot of
she
time
has time to
train and
prepare.
learn.
That's a lot of French fries you got to eat between now and
I know, we're not even
possibly
eating it.
November. I know, but
Oh my God.
I know. Well, part of everything is taking care of your personal appearance,
Yeah.
taking care of your bodies. There's a lot to be said for role models, just like yourselves, to young girls who have this fantasy that all girls should look the same
Yeah.
way, that we all should be a certain size.
I can vouch for that.
You go on ahead. Tell me what
Yeah,
you're feeling.
I think that's my struggle joining the pageant was because it's really hard being compared to a lot of beautiful women, and all these girls coming in. I was like, they're so skinny, and I was the biggest one there. Like really, I was.
You are not.
No, I mean, if you see these girls are like really skinny, and I feel like I'm the one that has like the most meat.
Does the skinny? We'll do that in a second. Does the skinny mean something to you though?
Not
Is
that, no.
Okay, all right.
Not that it not that I wasn't content with my body, because I was definitely content with my body, but like I said, it's just overwhelming feeling like having to be compared with other girls.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's what I came out with. This is the confidence in myself and how to embrace myself.
Yeah.
You really
so
learn how to love yourself for all your
that
flaws.
makes that. I'm glad you said that, because if you were gonna, the world is defined like the Kardashians
Yeah.
as the standard by which all women should be exotic looking or beautiful or sexy or something like that. And that's, they do a lot of their own kind of stuff to make sure that manipulate the size of their bodies to get it to a point, right?
Like they
So-
really change it.
Yeah. So would you be opposed to like young girls trying to, Botox or reshaping of their body parts or getting implants or that sort of thing?
I think it's more of whatever makes you happy. If going to the gym and being healthy is your lifestyle, then that's okay. If you feel like you're not happy with a part of your body, then that's up to you. But I think you should embrace who you are. But if it doesn't make you happy, then of course.
Don't do it. Well, I'll tell you what does make us happy. The food that's already on the table. And then Danielle from Kings has just presented the 5 ice cream scoop crate that she's
crazy
going to bring.
crate.
And these girls are going to show you what being comfortable in your own body looks like. We're with the Miss Earths. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are at King's Restaurant, of course, something to talk about. I'm with the Miss Earths for 2016. Happy to be at the table with all of this fantastic food. We have another little surprise for you ladies. Danielle and her. Now, Danielle is bringing us these things. What did you call this, Danielle? What kind of...
This is a crazy crate.
Crazy crate, you crazy girls. Look at this. So
pretty crazy.
They were deciding how many scoops of ice cream to put on this. Now, the organizers aren't going to get upset because everybody's like slamming down ice cream, right? Thanks, Danielle. Yay, Danielle. Here, have at it. There's your spoons, and don't eat those nuts. Don't eat those nuts. Tell me, first, where are you, as you guys are trying to eat off on this thing, tell me about how you, I have a feeling how you grew up. I know your family very well. Your Auntie Gwen was my classmate back in the day, so we've been friends for a long time. You grew up in a political family, obviously, and a family of educators. So what are you going to school now?
I'm leaving for school after the pageant to Seattle. And as for growing up, yes, I've been growing up in a political family. My grandma definitely raised us with respect and to ensure that we're doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And a lot of planting in our childhood, going to the ranch,
So you were a Guam girl who
I was definitely
got your toenails dirty on the ranch at the ranch on the
typical
weekend.
Guam girl, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Every weekend.
And you, Miss Kiana, what was your story?
My childhood?
Yeah.
I grew up with my mom and my grandma, and my grandmother's actually a professor at the University of Guam. So just
What's her name? Go ahead, say her name.
Margaret Artero.
Okay.
And then my mom and my grandma, they just taught me a lot, and I grew up with my family as well. Of course, it's Guam.
Sure.
And they taught me respect and love, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. Now, what did you graduate from? You said academy, so you
Yes.
graduated. What year did you graduate?
2014.
Okay. So you're currently doing what? You work? Or you going to school? Or what's your?
I'm a student at the University of Guam.
Okay. What's your
I'm
major?
majoring in psychology.
Okay. I forgot to ask you what your major. Are you going to Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah.
Eventually, Seattle. You are
Okay. What are you interested in? What's your
marine biology.
marine biology? Okay. Well, there it is. Why would I ask Miss Earth if she was doing anything else? Jessica, and
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
What's your story? Where did you grow up? What village? Who are your parents? You know.
My parents, my dad's name is Roy Nunez, and then my mom is Josephine. I come from a very humble family, just simple family. But I grew up rollerblading and just a lot of like boy stuff.
Wow.
And
Did you have
basketball.
brothers?
Yeah, I have 2 younger brothers.
Okay.
But growing up, I wasn't such of the girly girl. I was really like involved with a lot of sports because my dad used to coach basketball growing up, so I was around that a lot. But as far as school, I'm a pharmacy technician. I work at a pharmacy right now, and I want to become a doctor in pharmacy, so I'm
Wow.
trying to pursue that.
Wow. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And Miss Kayla, you are I know you're going to the University of Guam. Okay.
Well, my name is Kayla. I was born in Saipan, raised here on Guam. And my grandma was actually Miss Mariana. So growing up here on Guam, I kind of wanted to like follow in my grandma's footsteps, just like Gloria.
Sure.
And I know I made her proud. And I'm also Chamorro Japanese, so I have a lot of Japanese influences in my family. And I've just been growing up with so many different traditions, and I've learned to embrace my culture because it's so unique.
Yeah. No kidding. It is unique. You have the best of a couple of good worlds there.
Yeah.
What are you majoring in school?
I'm undecided
Okay.
because I really wanted to like focus on growing and learning more about myself, joining a pageant, doing things that I never knew I could do.
Yeah. You know what? I was trying to ask this question, and on my way here, I even asked I asked somebody in the elevator, asked some advice. I wanted to ask this question, but I didn't know really how to phrase it, because I didn't want to sound insulting. But I did want to get your take on when people say about beauty queens that they are not. I mean, this is obviously opposite of what people would say about a beauty queen, and whether or not they have any kind of brain power, you know. And I'm sure you've heard that. They think that beauty queens are not smart or don't have brains. All of you are going to college. All of you are working to further some kind of career in whatever capacity. But now that you have this title, how does that translate to you into something that is productive, you know, to the community? I know this is not the pageant, but I think that world peace. But no, I was thinking that, you know, how do you fight off that stigma that, you know, that girls that enter pageants are there for the beauty and the looks, but really don't have any sort of anything to stand
I think
on?
that, well, we joined the Perfect Pageant because this one is a pageant with a cause, and definitely coming from an island, we're staying true to our roots, definitely, and I feel like the pageant has made us all grow, and it's really helping us discover who we are and who we want to be. And like Jess said, before the pageant, I'm pretty sure a lot of us didn't really, of course we love our environment and everything, but the pageant has pushed us to make a change, to make
further
a
educate
difference.
ourselves.
Yeah. So it's really given us an opportunity, especially with the titles, to help out.
The
with our
organization is
environment.
really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just about the environmental part. Like all the people in it is just really awesome. Like I mean, we're still keeping in touch with all the other girls. We're just really good friends now. So I think that
Actually
was very
become a
important.
family.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing. Did you want to add to that too? Sorry, Kim.
I was just going off your intelligence question. I think how everyone usually sees the bad in things, I think everyone remembers like one girl that didn't do so great answering a question, and it might have just been a bad moment. But I think that a lot of the girls that joined the pageant were actually really smart, and so I think
Nerve-wracking being up there.
I think
Yeah, it is.
Really good competition this year.
yeah, everyone was gorgeous, everyone was smart. So I think it's more of people need to remember the positive things about a pageant and not really focus on the negative of the girl who couldn't really.
Yeah, I mean everything has a glitch, and the question wasn't centered because I wasn't at the pageant, so the question wasn't centered on anyone in particular, but it was generally the question
I
about these kinds of pageants. Now that you've sort of said that, there is something that's really empowering about females, especially in your age group, females who support each other. There's so much anger and hate and jealousy among females, and especially girls who are in competition who have, similar backgrounds and similar interests. It's so much easier to just slam the girl than it is to uphold her. Do you find that you went to an all-girls school? I'm pretty sure you understand what that environment's like.
I do completely understand the competitive girl aspect, but it's more of everyone, there's a lot of hate in the world and a lot of let me try and get on top. But I think you accomplish more with teamwork and with love. And for the pageant, even if you don't lose, it's all about who represents the island well. And so we're here to support Gloria and help her grow. So not really bring her down, but show the world that she's ready.
Yeah.
Did you want to help her?
Yeah. Okay. Kayla, did you want to add to that too?
Even before we went on stage, we had like a moment.
Oh my God.
Really?
We prayed together. We prayed together
that's
before.
nice.
But just even thinking about
Prelim and pageant.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is just really about attitude.
Yeah.
Like I said, with our group of girls, we're all really close and we all made good friends. So I think a part of that too, what made the pageant really a positive thing for all of us was our attitudes towards each other.
Well, and on the flip side of that, females also can be very. I know. Honestly, I'm right behind you on that one because I think that's something important. When girls can stop and be humble and pray and strip down, it's a very raw experience. So I can appreciate that.
We went up there as a team.
Yeah.
We really did.
So on the flip side of that, you're also in a world of men who objectify women. You see this. It's in our culture. It's in our entertainment. It's in pretty much everything. Where men objectify girls and men of your own age objectify you. And you are not capable of, being a pharmacologist or a marine biologist. There's a lot of drama there. How do you stay above the drama, especially at your age? I'm in my 50s, so it's a little easier for me to, sort of, if you will, flip somebody off. But I mean, there's a certain kind of moxie you get after a certain age. But how do you deal with that in your world now?
there's a lot under this crown. We educate ourselves. We really stay on top of our current events. So there's a lot more than just learning how to put on eyelashes. You have to know about politics. You have to know about the climate change. You have to know so much about the island. So it's a learning experience. You don't really you're not there to stand pretty. You're there to speak up and
we have a purpose being here.
And at the end of the day, we're still like the person that we are, and I like to be myself like all the time. So I think like a lot of it too, like being a part of pageant is like, oh, you have to be graceful, you have to be poised, but I feel more comfortable being myself. So of course I have to, like this.
Well, sash is full.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I think that's important too. Is just really knowing yourself, and who cares what anybody says.
And that's the attitude. That's the attitude you have to take. I mean, you do have to have some consideration for how people feel naturally, but when you're on your own and you're an independent girl and you're an
just
independent,
as long as you're doing good things and not bad
Yeah,
ones.
if you know yourself that you're doing something great and people are still judging you for it, people are going to judge you no matter what, as long as you're making a positive impact.
Yeah.
I agree. I like that. And no one said world peace but me. No one said it. All right.
We're not your typical pageant.
I know you're not. I have learned that today. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
you.
You're what you are is you're really, really smart and you happen to be gorgeous. So there's that first. All right.
And we eat ice cream.
And you eat ice cream, and they eat chorizo, Chris cut fries. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful time and been a little enlightened about pageants and women and the young girls of Guam. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Yay.
Cheers.